Hey everybody, welcome to the July garden tour. So much has happened since the last time I saw you. We've had tons of great growth, I've had some disease set in, and I've had some amazing harvests. I can't wait to show you it all, so let's start the tour. So let's start right where I was standing. In this bed previously we had Brussels sprouts, broccoli, of course we had the celery that you can see over here. Also had tons of arugula, which there's still tons of it in there. I just don't have the heart to rip it all up. But you can see I have lots of different chili peppers growing, which are doing pretty well. And then some different eggplants that are growing back here. They're starting to flower, starting to finally form fruit, which is exciting. And then I have celery over here, which is flowered. And I'm trying to let that go to seeds so I can collect the seeds and either grow more celery or use the seeds in my cooking. Here we have some really nice tomato plants. They've been growing in wonderfully. They're healthy, they're big, and they're just now starting to set fruit. So this is, I believe, a green giant, or no, this is an evergreen. This one is a pink and white striped, and this is a beefmaster, I believe. Now, the tomatoes that I have over here in this bed have not been doing so hot. Disease, a blight of some sort, has set into just about every single one, some worse than others. I've been pulling off all of the yellowed and spotted leaves and have been spraying them about every other day with copper, in addition to a seaweed emulsion and some Epsom salts, just trying to get them healthy again. Now check out this bed. You can see this is the celery right here. And then here we have zucchini, and then back there is a mystery squash or pumpkin of some sort. And then way back there I have some watermelon and some cantaloupe. All of this got planted really late because if you remember from my last videos, this is where I had my strawberry bed. I pulled all of those out because they just weren't growing all of that well. I left a few in the back just in case I want to replant them later. You can see right back there, these are some strawberries that have still continued to grow, and I'm gonna pick them. See? Back here I have some more chili plants. These are starting to do really well. And then behind that we have beets. Let's see if I can pull some out for you. Oh yeah. Check out this beet. Look at that. That looks awesome. Let's see. Wow. Look at all those. Here you can see the nasturtiums. They're absolutely beautiful, edible flowers. And of course, basil row. We have the lettuce leaf basil, different kinds of purple basil and Valencia basil. We have cucumbers in the back, thyme in the front, sage, tarragon, lemon verbena, oregano, pineapple sage, which is growing like crazy. You can see we have little cucumbers growing. Here, cucumbers here, up there, everywhere. And then we have two more tomato plants back here tucked in. This is a green zebra and a black zebra. They're flowering away and starting to get little tomatoes on top. Back here we have sunflowers, crazy big rhubarb. The stalks on this rhubarb are huge, and everyone's telling me not to harvest this year. They're saying wait until the second year, but it's really tempting. Dill going to seed, planted new dill seeds. Cilantro got pulled up, planted new cilantro seeds. Parsley, chervil, more sunflowers, more kale, mint in the back here. My chamomile is absolutely killing it. It's super healthy. I've been cutting down the flowers left and right, keeps growing more. Beans have been awesome. Yellow wax beans. They're so sweet. A couple different kinds of kale here. Red Russian kale, dinosaur kale, Tuscan kale, whatever you want to call it, black kale. They're taking their time to come up, but I'm not really too worried about them. In the back, that's Swiss chard, all different kinds of chard, rainbow, white, purple, yellow, red, pink. More arugula, chives. This kale has actually been going to seed and flowering, which is interesting at this point in the summer, but these are the onions I was telling you guys all about last time. The flowers, I think, are actually pretty beautiful. They're really striking and huge in the garden. And the bulbs are super teeny tiny. So over here is the garlic. And it's just about time to pull it up. I don't think it's quite ready yet. I cut down the scapes on all of them, but I kept this one garlic scape so you could see what actually happens. So it's actually gonna start flowering here. So I'm curious to see what happens to this bulb as opposed to all of the other bulbs, because supposedly cutting the scapes is what makes them bigger. Let's pull one up just to see. Let me go this one. Not bad. Not bad at all. Look at that. But I think the others could certainly get a little bigger. So I'm gonna give them more time. That's a beautiful bulb of garlic, I would say. Here I had lots of lettuces and greens, which I've since dug up. Still tons of arugula. Some lettuces I'm letting go to seed so I can collect the seeds. That little kale that came back. These are all peas that have since died off, and I need to go through here and collect the peas that have gotten big and overgrown and dried out so I can collect their seeds. More tomatillos. These are pretty much plants that I've dug up from other parts of the garden that came back from last year. And these are actual tomatillo plants that I bought at the store. One pineapple tomatillo and one traditional Mexican tomatillo. And we actually did some work on our patio. We're still kind of getting it together, but those are a few tomato plants that I have. There's some potatoes back there in containers. We're working on getting some furniture and a new grill and kind of making that a nice area to hang out. Thanks for tuning in to the July garden tour. I hope I was able to show you something that was somewhat inspiring or somewhat interesting. If you have any suggestions about what to do about this poor tomato bed and how to tackle that disease, or any suggestions for anything else in my garden, leave me a comment, let me know, or just leave me a comment and tell me about what's growing in your garden. I'm probably gonna check in with you guys a little bit sooner than later for the next tour, either at the very end of July or the beginning of August, because I think a lot is gonna happen between now and then, and I would really like to show you my very first harvest of tomatoes. So check back with me soon, and I'll see you then.